You know, nothing boosts my confidence in someone more than when they constantly have to reassure you that they're not a criminal. What they're doing is in fact extremely legal, and that is exactly what Donald Trump does in this clip during his North Carolina speech today, where he conveniently doesn't mention black Nazi Mark Robinson, who's a self-described, quote, perv, but he does mention a lot of unhinged things that have nothing to do with the American people. And it is our job, it is our responsibility to debunk his fire hose of lies. So with 41 days to go until the election, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe for this pro-democracy message, and let's jump in with this clip of Donald Trump reassuring us that what he does is extremely legal. It is in fact extremely legal.
And over the years, I've been, into politics, but mostly on the other side, like writing checks for politicians. Campaign contributions, extremely legal, but I've been on the other side, campaign contributions.
Every time I do something legal, I constantly have to reassure the people around me, this is extremely legal, guys. This is extremely legal. I mean, Donald Trump knows that he subverts every single unspoken norm and every single law written down, and he does it very intentionally. In fact, he does it to grab headlines. When Trump was hiding his tax returns for years, it's not because he actually was completely broke and had no money. It was because he wanted to create these headlines, grab these headlines, and that's reinforced by this next clip where Trump is talking about migrants, and he does something new. You know, maybe he's been watching the show because we've been pointing out on this show that every single time Trump talks about the immigration problem, he goes, there are immigrants from South Africa, from the Middle East, there are immigrants from Venezuela, all of these different places, yet he never mentions Europe. He never mentions countries that are majority white, and finally today he decided to do that. For the first time in his entire political career, he mentioned Europe.
Most people don't even know there are that many countries. Actually, there are quite a bit more than that. 168 countries were represented with illegal aliens coming in. From the Congo in Africa, they come in a lot from the Congo. From jails in the Congo, they open their jails. From South America, Venezuela, all of the countries, they're letting them out of their prisons and jails. They're letting them out. Their jail population's way down. Their mental institution population. But this is all over the world. They come from the Middle East. They come from Asia. They come from parts of Europe. They come into our country. Many of them are major criminals.
All right, so this is absolutely insane, and there are so many different directions we could go with this. Let's start with the obvious. Immigrants that move here commit crimes at lower rates than native-born citizens, so they are not dangerous, as Donald Trump says. Also, he starts this clip off by saying, many people don't understand how many countries there are. No, we all know how many countries there are. Trump just thinks that everybody around him is as stupid as he is. And then Trump says that other countries are emptying out their mental institutions. And the reason that Trump thinks this is because he doesn't understand the word asylum has two meanings. Let's look it up right now. Asylum means, number one, the protection granted by a nation of someone who has left their native country as a political refugee. That is the main definition of asylum that he should be using when he's talking about asylum, but he thinks it's an institution offering shelter and support to people who are mentally ill. So he says they're emptying out their mental institutions, their asylums, and sending them over here. He doesn't know that there are two definitions to this word, and it's absolutely hilarious. He also does the same thing with visas. He says that they're coming over here with massive amounts of credit cards. No, they're seeking visas. This dude is just a dumbass. He then says we have hostile takeovers of Springfield, Ohio, and Aurora, Colorado. This is not substantiated anywhere.
But Kamala should have closed the border years ago, and we wouldn't have hostile takeovers of Springfield, Ohio, Aurora, Colorado, where they're actually going in with massive machine gun type equipment. They're going in with guns that are beyond even military scope, and they're taking over apartment buildings. They're taking over real estate. They're in the real estate development business. Congratulations. These are, in that case, people from Venezuela, young street gang members that were sent here by the Venezuelan government.
It's funny because the mayor of Springfield and the governor of Ohio, many Republicans have said these are not problems that exist, and Donald Trump's rhetoric is only dividing the cities or the counties more than they were in the first place. I mean, there are real problems created when new people enter a city. Yes, it can put pressure on the infrastructure. There are real solutions to these problems that people in Springfield, Ohio were trying to unite, come together to fix. That is what America's about. We come together and fix problems through voting, through mobilizing. But what Trump wants to do is create fear by launching a national smear campaign against the town of Springfield, Ohio, the people who work in Springfield, Ohio, such as the city manager. He has said that the city manager is a liar. So Trump just sows division in these places, and it's so obvious. In this next clip, Fox News cuts away from Trump mid-speech. Again, Fox News begins to cut away because Trump is so unhinged in this speech.
Jobs, and that number was going up until I came along.
All right, well, we're going to continue to watch this. We carried this economic speech in its entirety for almost an hour and a half yesterday. We're told that the rest of this speech will very much echo what we heard yesterday.
Everyone is bored. Everyone is tired. They said that this speech is going to very much so echo what we heard yesterday, but he's already saying new unhinged thing. Right here, he says he was with Tom Homan.
I was with Tom Homan recently. He told me that the last check was they came in from 168.
Keep in mind, Tom Homan is one of the primary authors of Project 2025, along with 80% of people that Trump plans on putting in his cabinet. So when he tries to distance himself from Project 2025, just remember, he's constantly talking about these people who crafted the document. Here's Trump rambling more about McDonald's at what's supposed to be a speech about manufacturing.
Something like she worked very long and hard hours over French fries at McDonald's. She'd never worked at McDonald's. It was a fake story. It was a fake story. The press now refuses to write it because it's so, there's a very simple one. She said she worked at McDonald's and she didn't. Not highly sophisticated, not complicated. It was a lie. She never worked at McDonald's over the hot French fries. I think I'm going to a McDonald's in 2 weeks, actually. And I'm going to work the French fries because I will have worked longer and harder at McDonald's than she did if I...
How is it that impossible to believe that VP Harris worked at McDonald's for a time in the early 80s, and people around her have confirmed this, people that have known her entire life, but McDonald's just doesn't have a record from 45 years ago, 40 years ago. Donald Trump is so insane because he will lie constantly, a fire hose of lies, but then when VP Harris says one thing that is hard to corroborate because of time reasons, all of a sudden he is accusing her of being a constant liar when this dude throughout the speech has lied 100 times. Trump doesn't have her employment history. Trump has never contacted McDonald's. People around VP Harris have confirmed this. And honestly, the way that Trump speaks about McDonald's and people who works at McDonald's is honestly kind of offensive. He said yesterday, oh, I'm sure her job was so hard standing in front of the fryer, which in a way that is him undermining people who work at McDonald's, people who work as waitresses or waiters. I mean, he's just going to undermine anybody who didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth, with a golden toilet. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you appreciate what I do, leave a like, drop a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.